a team that went to the finals last season, the Miami Heat. They're on a kind of a slow start. They're currently 6-7. At the time of this recording, they've played 13 games. And I think the question everybody's asking is, was last year a fluke? Was last year just a Cinderella story? My friend here, Alan, is a Miami Heat fan. I'm going to ask you, what do you think? Do you think the Heat was last year just a fluke season?
I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't. And I'm going to tell you why. I think now we're really banged up. You've seen that at the end of the finals last year. We were banged up. We took the Lakers to 6 games while being banged up. Bam, his shoulder was hurt. And then Gordon, he was big for us. He got hurt. But I just – and Jimmy too. Jimmy was exhausted. And then with the short offseason, I know the guys are exhausted. But I just want to see how everybody comes back and just how it comes together. And I want to see also what management and Pat Riley does during the
trade season and stuff.
Yeah, the trade season.
So right now they've played 13 games and Butler has only played 6. I was watching a game earlier, the Mavs and Heat. The Mavs blew out the Heat and they were at full strength. And for me, I don't think that last year was a Cinderella story per se. I think that they shocked everybody when they beat Milwaukee, when they rolled over Milwaukee like they did. And against Boston, they played really well. And they gave the Lakers a fight. If they were healthy, I don't think they would have won, but they would have gave them a better fight. For me, though, this year, they're not even in the conversation. Like, they're not – you have the Nets. They are not beating the Nets in a 7-game series. Boston, I think, is better. They can maybe beat them. Milwaukee, they could probably beat them. Philly, I'll give the edge to Philly this season. I'll give the edge to Philly. Listen, they're 6-7. They lost to the Magic, Bucks, Mavs, Celtics, 76ers twice, and Pistons. So most of those losses aren't bad. Bam is averaging 19. Tyler Hero's averaging 17. But I still don't think – I think they're a star away. And the fact that Giannis signed an extension – Harden's in Brooklyn now. Where are you going to go? Are you going to try to trade for Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal, or you try to go get Victor Oladipo? I don't think Oladipo or Zach LaVine puts them over the top.
I don't think Bradley Beal does either.
I think Bradley Beal makes them much closer. I think Bradley Beal's a superstar.
That's fair.
I really think
there's a big difference between Bradley Beal and the two guys you named, but still, yes, there is. I'm sorry.
I'll wait till
I like Zach LaVine, but there's a. I shouldn't say a big difference, but the impact that he makes, I feel like, would be much bigger than Zach LaVine or especially Victor Oladipo. But I don't know. I don't think that last year was like a fluke. I don't think it was a Cinderella story. I do think they got hot at the right time. They were incredibly well coached throughout the playoffs. Eric Spoelstra did a great job with not only his rotations, getting his young guys in at the right minutes, and game planning. That game plan that they had set up against the Bucks was exactly what you needed to do to beat a Giannis-led team.
that every team does.
And they executed it to perfection. And they had
how many teams have done that?
I'm just saying it's not.
How many teams have actually beat Giannis doing that?
It's not some genius
and those
game
are the 2
plan.
teams that beat him.
It's not some genius game plan. We act like he created the blueprint.
Well, the 2 teams that have really done it have been the Raptors, who won the finals, and the Heat, who went to the finals.
And the Nets, when they had Harden and KD, they did it.
Yeah, won by 2, and that's because KD had to hit a big shot.
No Kyrie, he didn't play.
All right,
it was a regular season.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Okay,
I'm just saying.
I'm saying the 2 teams that did it.
I'm talking playoffs. Playoffs. There's 2 teams that done it. It's been the Heat with Bam Adebayo, who went to the finals. The Raptors,
who he was up 2-0 on,
with Siakam, Ibaka, Gasol, Leonard, and they won the finals. So it's not as easy as people think it is. But I don't think it was a Cinderella story as much as it was they got hot at the right time. They were coached really well. They had a good road to get to the finals. And now you're starting to see the effects of having the second shortest offseason in NBA history by 1 day to the Los Angeles Lakers, even though they're playing great. They kind of reloaded more and differently than the Miami Heat did. And, LeBron and Anthony Davis aren't going through the same thing that Jimmy Butler is right now. He's missed half the season to this point. So I don't think this team that we're seeing right now is what the Miami Heat are going to be. You said it, though. I still don't think they're going to compete with the Nets or the Bucks. They're in that situation with like the Sixers, the Heat are right there, and maybe the Pacers, the Celtics are in that next step down. The Pacers would probably be like a tweener in that group, but I think that's the next level of teams in the Eastern Conference. I don't think they can win the Eastern Conference, but if everything goes right for them, who knows?
I get that the Pacers are playing well, but I still have to see them in the playoffs.
Me too, because the Heat just swept them last
Yeah.
year. Like, they didn't win a game. Cinderella story? You could call it that. You couldn't call it that. I think, like Jack said, they got hot at the right time, and like Joel said, they ran into some matchups where they can exploit. Boston just came down to a dogfight. Milwaukee, they just throttled. In the finals, they weren't fully healthy, but they still gave LA a fight. This year, like Alan said, they haven't been healthy. There's been two guys on their team that's played the full season. Jimmy Butler has missed half the season. Bam has been in and out. Duncan and Precious, who's a rookie, is the only two guys that's played the full season. And I think they're missing that wing depth that they had. Jay Crowder, I think, is being missed. DJJ is being missed too. So I think they're just still trying to adjust. But, yeah, they are another star away. And I think I wouldn't say Bradley Beal puts them over the top, but I think he definitely makes them one of those teams where you're like, okay, we can't sleep on.
I think Bradley Beal, if he goes to Miami, it's now Nets and Miami. No other team in the East matters. That's just my opinion.
I would still have the Bucks over the Heat, but
I know you want to have the Bucks, but the Bucks are pretenders. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest.
I disagree.
The Bucks are pretenders.
Can I finish what I'm saying? Thank you. No, that was actually a really bold take you just said. You think Bradley Beal puts him over that much?
Yes, he does.
So wait, let me.
But you also got to consider what they're giving up in the package too.
Exactly.
Tyler Hero,
another guy.
Some
He's
first
probably
round
going to
picks.
go. He's been the second best player on the team this season.
Yeah, Bradley Beal will be the first.
No, obviously, of course, but you're still
You're
it's
losing
not
a
like
lot.
you're not losing anything.
Look,
Dragic
I don't
would
know
probably have to go.
I don't know what the package would be, but I just think that Bradley Beal will make them the second best team in the Eastern Conference. Right now, they didn't make enough moves in the offseason for me to call them a better team. The Sixers got better. The Celtics got better. They got benched now. They got a bench now. The Nets, we know they got better. The Bucks, to an extent, got better, even though, look, as long as Giannis cannot shoot, the Bucks will not make it to the finals. That's just point blank, period. Teams are going to continue to guard him like they're guarding him now. They don't have a chance if he doesn't have a jump shot. Even a mid-range jump shot would help. Right now, that's why I think the Bucks are pretenders. That's exactly why. The Heat need to trade for a star. I think the most reasonable one is probably Victor Oladipo because he won't command much. You can probably get a Victor Oladipo for a first-round pick and Precious Achiuwa. Personally, I think you can.
You got to match the cap.
You could maybe throw something like
Kelly Olynyk.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal. I don't know. Boston is still a very tough team come playoff time. You know they're gonna play hard every game. You still got Philly. I think Miami still, when healthy, has the personnel to beat a lot of teams in the East aside from the Nets.
Well, Bam helps.
Yeah, I still think they have the
tremendously with
personnel to beat Boston right now. I still think they have the personnel to beat Indiana, Philly. I just outside of the Nets, I still think come playoff time, if they are healthy in a 7-game series, they can beat anybody. But like you said, they need a superstar to get them over the top. Bradley Beal maybe can help that. Then you have a trio of Beal, Butler, and Bam. That's a pretty dope trio. I like that trio. I don't know if I would easily put them over Boston because Jaylen Brown's got better. Jason Tatum has emerged. That would be a tough series. The Nets, Kyrie, Harden, and KD. So I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like the Nets, they're better. So I don't know, but I think they definitely need to. If not for get Bradley Beal, get a consolation prize to just be competitive this year, and then make some moves down the line.
I think the problem for them is, their long game was Giannis, and they did not expect him to sign that extension with Milwaukee, and now he did, and they kind of really don't have much left on the table now. So do you wait? They could wait out this season, see what they do this year, and then go get Victor Oladipo in free agency. Make a pitch for Kawhi. But, it's just a question of how much time do you think you have. I believe Duncan Robinson and Kendrick Nunn's contracts are up after this season.
Duncan, Kendrick, Olynyk, Leonard.
So as a Heat fan, what player would you want out of the ones that we named, or do you have somebody else in mind?
I needed LeBron.
Exactly. I feel like I could sit here and name a lot of people we need. Giannis, like, he signed the extension. That was pretty much dead. Bradley Beal, he is a good guard. I just feel like we need more of a forward. I feel like in the finals that's what was lacking. And Jay, like he said, Jay Crowder's gone. So I think more in the forward position is where we should be looking. But
Kawhi is the only free agent, like elite free agent this
Are
year.
they even gonna have cap space to Heat?
Yeah, if they let all these guys go, but then they would have to make a pitch, and if he says no, then you just lost everybody for nothing.
I don't think Kawhi's leaving Los Angeles personally.
I don't think so either.
yeah, I mean,
After the way they started this season.
Yeah, I think
It really depends on how they.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
that's a good
for
point.
him to leave, they would have to end like last year, like something around there.
Just the way things are looking right now in Los Angeles, I would feel very confident saying he stays.